Did Star Wars finally reveal what happened to Luke's lightsaber after The Empire Strikes Back? Now that the Skywalker saga has come to a close with Episode 9, it's a safe bet we probably are not getting any more big screen stories involving the heroes and villains we've come to know and love, a la your Solos, Skywalkers, or Sheevs. However, just because we aren't getting any movie versions doesn't mean there aren't still hundreds of stories to tell, be it live-action TV, cartoons, novels, video games, and of course, comic books. Which is good because there are still plenty of questions we have left about the sequel trilogy that fans would certainly love answers to. Like just who got their freak on with Sheev Palpatine while he was in full Sith Emperor mode. And with the latest relaunch of the main Star Wars comic line from Marvel by writer Charles Soule, which is set between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, we might finally start to see an answer to one of the biggest question marks opened by Star Wars The Force Awakens. How was the Skywalker lightsaber found? Before we go any further, we have to give you a spoiler warning first because this episode of Nerdist News delves into Star Wars #2 by Charles Soule. So read it first if you don't want to be spoiled. Otherwise, if you're sticking around, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Woo! Still here? Great. So, how in the 7 Corellian hells did Maz Kanata get her hands on the Skywalker lightsaber after Luke lost it in an unfortunate fencing accident in Bespin? As we said before, this latest Star Wars comic line takes place between Star Wars Episodes 5 and 6 and deals with the immediate aftermath of Luke finding out that Darth Vader is really his father. You know, that tricky certain point of view stuff that Star Wars loves.
A certain point of view?
In the comic, Luke is dealing with this truth and his place as a Jedi while Leia tries to keep the fragments of the Rebel fleet safe, and Lando looks for where Boba Fett brought Han Solo after he took a dip in a carbonite freezing chamber. Also, we get to hang out with Poe Dameron's parents, which is pretty cool. Anyhow, the comic ends with Lando offering to sneak Luke into Cloud City to find his lightsaber, since they are pretty rare and irreplaceable items at this point in galactic history. Eventually, this prompts Luke to have a Force vision of his unfortunate workplace accident, and at the end of the issue, we see Luke's severed hand and lightsaber fall down the Cloud City shaft when suddenly a hand reaches out and grabs the laser sword, revealing a hooded figure telling Luke to follow his destiny. Obviously, fans are up in arms, get it, as they are finally learning just how the Skywalker saber changed hands, get it, from Luke to Maz and eventually to Rey Palpatine. So, who is this hooded figure and what does it all mean? Let's break down what we know so far. There were widely reported rumors that one of the early drafts for Star Wars The Force Awakens starts with Luke's hand and saber floating through space when they are grabbed by someone mysterious. While this never made it on screen, it shows that Lucasfilm has been thinking about the fate of that particular saber for a long time. And so have we, once we learned that it survived. There are a couple of clues as to who this figure could be. Based on the Jedi-like robes this figure is wearing, some are positing that it's a Force ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn or Obi-Wan Kenobi, while others think it might be someone more alive, like Ahsoka Tano or possibly Ezra Bridger. Heck, some even are speculating that this might be the first canon glimpse of another character from Legends continuity, Luke Skywalker from the original Thrawn trilogy of novels by Timothy Zahn. Yes, you heard that right. That's Luke with 2 U's. Luke Skywalker is a clone made of Luke Skywalker's missing hand who also wielded the iconic blue lightsaber. Of course, it was an evil clone who needed to be defeated. This is not canon and comes from a time before the prequels really fleshed out just what the Clone Wars were. While it is certainly a possibility that this could be Luke, especially since Disney has already brought Grand Admiral Thrawn, first introduced in the same book series, back to canon, legitimizing Luke seems like more trouble than it's worth. Honestly, we're just gonna throw this theory in the trash compactor. We think the simplest explanation for this hooded figure is the most likely. It's a Force vision of Luke himself, as the Jedi he could become if he follows his destiny. Luke has seen visions of himself before, like in the Dagobah cave, so it wouldn't be weird if this were the case. Plus, the hooded figure is wearing a black glove on his right hand. That's the hand that Luke loses. Plus, Luke ends up wearing a black glove when his prosthetic hand is damaged while escaping Jabba's sail barge in Return of the Jedi. The glove just kind of fits. But why would Luke have this vision? Well, he's doubting his Jedi path, and it could be the kick in the butt Luke needs to get his groove back. In the next issue, it certainly seems like Luke and Lando are headed to Cloud City to look for the missing lightsaber. Also, there is the distinct possibility that we're not going to find out about the Skywalker saber here. This could just be a vision that sets Luke on his path to create his own lightsaber, the one we see in Return of the Jedi. No matter what, Lucasfilm seems intent in exploring what happened to it. But we'll just have to wait and see if we get more questions or answers to how Maz Kanata got her hands on the lightsaber next month with the release of Star Wars 3. But what do you folks think? Will we finally find out what happened to the saber? Who is the hooded figure? And when do you think we'll learn about the next Star Wars film? Let's discuss. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, why not give us a like and subscribe? If you want to get notified every time we go live with the show or drop a new video, feel free to mash that little bell so you can be up to date on all the latest theories, news, and rumors in the pop culture world.